So with that being said, are we getting full-fledged into the whole Jeffrey Epstein?
Because I keep referencing it, and only because of the law enforcement part and how corrupt that shit is. Far as like the lawyers, I know it's two different things, but to me, they're all connected. The law enforcement, the politics, all of that shit's connected. It's all connected.
Jeffrey Epstein was R. Kelly times 1,000.
10,000.
Kelly times, all right, 10,000. Because on one hand, we talk about R. Kelly having all of these people who was like security and stuff, turning a blind eye to what was happening. But Jeffrey Epstein had people in government and law enforcement turning a blind eye to basically what was a pyramid scheme of him recruiting these young girls to do sexual favors for him and other well-known people. Or
his right-hand man was Alan Dershowitz.
And the girl on the documentary said she had slept with the Alan Dershowitz several times.
And did you see how his tone escalated? He was like this the whole interview, but as soon as that got brought up, he went up to here. You're guilty.
Look, you said that could be photoshopped. Like what?
He was like, he said he had never slept with somebody underage, and he wants them to come on this TV show, go on the record, say it. Next clip you see is the girl saying, "I've been with him several times."
And I believe her. I believe her.
I believe her too. I ain't even.
It makes sense.
Because to me, I mean, in my mind, and this is only my opinion, what had happened was when they went to that first hearing back in, what was it? Was it like 2006 or something like that? Something earlier.
Somewhere around.
Or was it 2012? What was it?
Somewhere around there.
Something earlier. Yeah. Well, when they first, and the girls was talking about that they didn't even have a hearing. They went and spoke to the judge. I think what it was is Alan Dershowitz, and this is only my opinion, he went to the federal level and explained to them how bad this is and how many people could go under as a result of this being prosecuted to the full extent. And that's why they gave him the 18 months that they did, and they let him out on work release and all that. That's why he got.
Did you see the Vanity Fair piece? Did they change the whole Vanity Fair piece that the lady wrote about it?
Mm-hmm.
And then it ended up being a good article instead of a bad article.
And what I think is a lot of those people in between, because he was known for having these extravagant parties with all these extravagant people there. Anybody with a little bit of money might have been there. And the only thing that I thought about was being at a party, and a lot of people was there, and you might have been at the same party that somebody that you might not even seen or even known that they was there or what the fuck they was doing there. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? But they was there. And those are the senators, the governors, the mayors, the police, officer, the chief of police or whatever. They all, I feel like everybody was in cahoots or maybe had been at one of those parties where they could have been implemented if that shit. So they already knew. So the second time when he went to jail, he knew he was going to be a goner. He didn't. I don't think he killed himself, but he had to go.
I feel like he did too. And because if you got these people on record saying they slept with or been with in some sort of sexual manner, Alan Dershowitz and Prince Andrew, because they said that on there. Now they said Bill Clinton had been to that island multiple times, but they hadn't seen him be involved with any of the young girls sexually. But he was at least there where he had denied being there altogether. If you got at least them three, you know that there's a whole lot of other high-powered people involved in this too.
And that shit went on for years. That's why I said it's everybody. New people, old people, it's everybody. He had to go. And Trump was there. He had to go.
Didn't one of the girls say she was working at Mar-a-Lago?
Yes.
And he's another one who said he didn't even know he didn't really like Jeffrey Epstein. He didn't really know him that good, but I ain't really even like the guy or whatever he was saying. Like, get out of here.
Lies.
He's all over that documentary.
And I just don't know why his I mean, did the immunity still hold up once they got the new trial? Because his right hand partner, his life partner, she should be in jail too.
She should.
Oh yeah, she was worse than him.
Yeah, so I know
she was recruited.
In the first agreement,
but you know what though? He knew it. He knew it because didn't they say he changed his will to give everything to his brother? Why would he not give it to her?
Listen, in the first agreement, he had her covered, and everybody else that was involved. He had immunity for him, and he had immunity for them. So did that hold up in the second phase of it, like when he went to jail the second time? Because if not, then she should be in jail along with them other females, because she wasn't the only one. She was the main one, but she wasn't the only one.
But who ratted him out? She might have been the one, or she might have been in cahoots with the FBI or somebody. Like, she might be.
Who knows? Like, there was so
they don't even
girls,
be talking about her.
Who knows?
I didn't know about her until people were saying that how crazy her dad was. How her dad used to blackmail people.
Yeah.
And you know what I found, and y'all might laugh, but I found it particularly insulting that you recruiting these girls and you only paying them $200 a day or whatever it was for the massage.
But they was always like trouble kids, you know.
They that was a lot because they ain't no better, but he knew better.
He knew better.
Listen.
But I ain't gonna lie, his little setup he had was expensive though. His little setup he had was expensive though. I'll say that.
It was, but that don't got nothing to do with me. I cost more.
I mean, there's a lot of $40 bitches out there now. Like 40. So 200, they split.
He got like a real massage parlor. He's like, I would only get an Asians 200. I'm gonna give them 200.
Yeah, so
that's another thing too that I felt the girls on. They were like, in the documents and stuff, or in the deals or whatever that they cut with Epstein, they were being labeled as prostitutes, but they were like, we were victims. We weren't.
Well, yeah, because the charges was less for him to go down for prostitution than what was it, sex with minors or whatever that he would have got charged with. That's what they were saying. The way they charged him was real funny.
Yeah, and after he got out the jail the first time, he got on that interview and was talking shit about the charges and shit. Like, if I would have been in New York, it would have been just like a charge of jaywalking, and like he was real arrogant and cocky with the shit. Like, it was, that shit just blew my mind. Like, I knew about it.
Bad, man.
I didn't know the depth of what was going on. I did not know.
But when you hear him talking to me, he reminded me of Trump. Do y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That whole arrogant type of...
that narcissistic shit.
Yeah.
So, Javi, what did you say?
No, I just said I didn't know it was going on for that long. That's sad. It's real sad.
Right.
It's sad, but then I think that with the type of... okay, he's paying the girls $200 or whatever he's paying them. But how much is Prince Andrew paying him to have access to these girls? Or how much is this one or that one paying him? And that's why I'm like, there's big money in this. And this is why even people locally are getting into the whole human trafficking type thing, you know?
Well, I think it might have been easier for him to get away with it, with doing it with those type of people, because they could probably just make a donation to a charity or something like that, or with whatever type of event you might pay $2,000 a ticket for an event or something like that. You know what I mean? Just to get access to the girls, and then you would probably tip them.
Or look, when they was on Orgy Island, Orgy Island probably was going for $20,000 a pop, knowing that girls was going to be on that island. Yeah. So you can't They ain't paid $1,000 a pop to go to Orgy Island now.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's all in like a all inclusive basically.
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna give me this money, but it ain't gonna be like a straight hand to hand.
Right.
Right, because this is an island and it's not
It's
one main it's not even one main estate. There's like several different villas around the island that will give you your privacy with whoever you want to have privacy with.
But he's so messy, he's mixing in real business with that stuff, like how when he had Clinton and Chris Tucker and them going to Africa, like you mixing in real business with sleaziness, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody got him killed, because some people might not have really even knew about it, but you got my name mixed up in this stuff, you gotta go, dude.
Well, to me, especially with just them 3 people that was specifically named in the documentary, because of the potential associations of other high power people, that confirms for me that he was taken out. Like, he didn't commit. I don't feel like it. That's just my own opinion. I don't feel like he committed suicide. I felt like they were like, well, this is something that's bigger than Jeffrey Epstein, and we got to go.
Because he had connections everywhere. The FBI, Prince Andrew could have had somebody kill him. You see how
law enforcement. He went to jail, like law enforcement. That's
the tapes wasn't working that day too.
Lies. And Cyril West said, why was his jaw broke? Like, why was his jaw broke in those 3 different places or whatever? Like, he had to go. They knew that, and he knew that. He knew that because whenever he got out on that first time, he was moving around so freely. He was able to go to he continued to do what he was already doing. So I know that they had the conversation like, if you go down again, buddy, you're out. And his ego wouldn't let him believe that, oh, I'm not going to jail. They're not going to catch me. We're going to pay this other judge off. And that's how it got overturned. They didn't have that federal judge that overturned that shit. They didn't have him. They couldn't pay him off.
The judge wasn't with it.
He wasn't with that shit.
Because even when he got off the first time, and the PI was sitting there telling this PO that he was violating it every single day.
And what they say, well, what you want me to do about it? Like, we can't be everywhere at one time. He was doing what he wanted to do.
But you know what is so sad too is that we have to hope that there's somebody who is going to be ethical enough to say, I ain't with it.
But you know what crazy is? It's like they're gonna extort you one way or another. Like, and some of those judges probably put in the craziest positions to where they can't do anything. Like, nobody's not gonna sacrifice their own self for the greater good, and that's the problem. Like, it got to be like almost like what Jeff Bezos.
Maybe, yeah, people do
like,
it.
So,
but but people do sacrifice themselves for the greater good. Look at the protesters. Their whole cause is for the greater good.
No, but I would say it's different. So say if you got a picture of me doing something very compromising and I'm a judge or a DA or something like that, it's rare that you're going to see somebody do what Jeff Bezos did and say, so what? Go ahead, put it out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of human beings are selfish like that to where they'll rather let somebody get off and look the other way just to save themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's what him and his partner was doing. It was just, I think a lot of people do that though. That's the thing. Even though Jeffrey Epstein might be dead, there's probably 20 other people just trying to do that to that judge. And they probably all got the same picture or the same audio of you doing something compromising. Mm-hmm. You just trying to block it from getting out to the public.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that because Jeffrey Epstein is dead and gone, that the desire for older men to be with younger women went away? Well, younger girls went away.
There's just another person in charge.
That shit ain't stopped.
I was thinking that I wonder how many girls he killed. Like, how many girls can't tell their story? You know what I mean? How many girls really did he murder?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's some
They
girls that probably wasn't with
covered
it.
and made it look like something else or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't with nobody going to the cops.
But then
Somebody.
I feel like in a lot of their cases, because there was a lot of them who were testifying and stuff, he probably felt so arrogant that he was like, ain't nobody gonna believe him.
Yeah. Yes. And he had the power to, if there was a girl who didn't like it or whatever, he had the power and the money to make that 14-year-old, 15-year-old girl disappear. Like
Exactly.
she could be down in Miami right now. There could be several girls on a missing poster right now to this day down in Miami that
that's what I'm feeling like. We hear the stories of the survivors, but what about those who didn't survive?
Mm-hmm.
Everything ain't gonna go your way, Jeffrey.
Because the way everything went, every single one of them girls was a recruiter.
Yeah. It was a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Right.
But what happens when I say no to your pyramid scheme?
I mean,
see, that's the thing.
His life was alive from the time he graduated high school.
Right.
So.
And I think he was sleeping with that old dude. I think he was.
He was.
Wait,
the old guy that Victoria's Secrets and shit.
Oh, the limited. Yeah.
He was sleeping with him.
He was tore up after dude took his cheek.
He was sleeping with him. Ain't no other man gonna tell you. Ain't no other man gonna say I'm gonna be able to take his money and finesse another nigga out of his money like that. And there ain't no sex involved. Like, get the hell out of here.
He probably treated Jeff Epstein like he treated those girls.
Yeah, so that shit was deep. It was a really eye-opening documentary. He was 10 times worse than R. Kelly. The R. Kelly situation kind of died down. We don't see it as much. But he's still in jail. And I feel like for the simple fact that they preyed on minors, that's where they deserve to be.
Mm-hmm.